It is 6 o'clock in the morning and we are on our way to the farm in Gamas with a bunch of new investors that have just invested in the project or are taking a look at potentially investing in the project, and we're going to go and see their plots. Join us. So here is our luxury minivan.
Hector's been involved in farming for, Simon's been an agronomist all over the world for 30 years.
Hector and Simon.
Hector and Simon. No, this is a nursery.
So we are here at the farm. This is my third visit. We're here today with 5 sets of investors that have just recently invested in the farm, and now they're just gone now, as you can see behind, to go and see their plots.
Lay it flat in a trench, and then it starts to grow out of the trench. So what you're seeing here is this is a nursery. And then basically once it starts working onto the bell, and then that machine just passes the head.
So this is what the grass looks like after just 60 to 70 days. So this is what we're buying. Now this grass is special. Normal Napier grass has 4 harvests a year and about 10% protein level. And it has very thick bristles on the leaf itself, which causes cows to uneasily digest, and it tickles their throat a lot. So you find the cows don't eat that much of it. This one, as you can see, very smooth, no bristles at all, so the cows can eat it much more easily. It's also got 19% protein in this grass. You can almost eat it yourself. 19% protein, which means it feeds the cow and makes it more full, more quicker, and it's more nutrient dense. It also grows 7 harvests a year, meaning as investors, we make more money and we can produce more of it more often. We are sitting on the start of a major change in Malaysian agriculture as it seeks to get back its food sovereignty, support Malaysia and support this farm and make money at the same time. There are new cattle farms being launched in Malaysia every single day, and the cows have to eat. Currently in Malaysia, dairy cows are only producing between 12 and 14 litres of milk per cow. In Australia and the UK, that figure can go up to 60. The Malaysian cows at the moment with a poor diet are producing 3 times less milk than their counterparts in New Zealand and the UK. The only way to fix that is to feed them better quality food. That's where Fortis Farms comes in. That's where your investment comes in. To give you an idea of scale, guys, F&N have 5,000 cows 5 kilometers away from this farm just over there. Our farm is 300 acres. We can only feed at full capacity in this farm 500 of their cows. That's one farm. There are hundreds in this country already and hundreds more launching. The scale of the demand is monstrous. Imagine having the only durian farm in Malaysia. That's the equivalent of where we are now with hybrid tropical grass, animal feed grass in this country. The nursery. This is where your investment will grow initially before it's moved to another part of the land. By investing in Fortis in this grass, you are also investing in Malaysia's food sovereignty, and you're bringing Malaysia's beef and dairy in-house rather than having to rely on importing it from other countries. The world of agriculture is changing. Countries now are exporting less and less crops to other countries, and they're more focused on growing their own and feeding their own people before others. It isn't just about making money, guys. This is about helping your country start producing its own beef and its own dairy that it can be proud of. It's about you getting fresh milk in your grocery stores rather than relying upon imports and pasteurized stuff. I've lived in this beautiful country for 15 years, and I've been looking for a long time for a passive investment that will really help the country do something special. Not many investments you can do where you're not only making money, you're helping a government and you're helping a whole nation change the landscape of such an important product. We take for granted being British sometimes. We can get fresh milk whenever we need, so much so we've got a huge surplus that we export. So many cows in our country. There's lots of investments out there you can do, will make you money. When you find something that not only makes you more money than real estate, for instance, but it's actually going to change the landscape of this country. The government have always set wheels in motion by investing billions, making cattle farming and crop investment income tax free for 10 years. The wheel has already been moving for a number of years in this direction already.
Like 90% imports for dairy and meat. So there's a lot of scope for Malaysia to expand and for local Malaysian businesses like this or like a farm to take advantage of that. So Farm Fresh was one of the first companies that did that. They've been very successful. They've got farms across in Pahang, Kuantan, near Mutsum Shah, and also down in Johor.
We were both working for big multinationals, BP, oil and gas, and BAT. I was Dunhill and Benson Hedges and all that type of stuff. I was on the farming side in Kelantan, right? At about 2006-07, they wanted us to leave, right? And we decided to stay because we love this place. And in 2011, we imported the grass from Thailand. It was developed by the Thai Department of Animal Nutrition, right? But back in those days, we used to do projects for other people. And not just grass. I worked with Dole, well, we both worked with Dole in Mindanao. That's probably the world's biggest pineapple farm. I started the world's biggest coconut farm in Palawan in Philippines. You know, when you say biggest, it's like 200, 300 square kilometers, right?
Jeez.
Heisel and myself, we started the world's biggest black pepper farm in Trengganu for a company called McCormick. But oddly, you know, during COVID, because of the focus on food sovereignty and food security, we've managed to start doing our own projects. And we have this project, so we have another project in Sarawak, which is still grass, but for a slightly different use. That's for
I explained on the
for fuel, but that's like a couple of thousand hectares, right? And that's quite a lot bigger. So we're quite used to, well, particularly three of us starting up big farms, right? But the thing is, we've been working with this grass, Hector and I personally, since 2010?
Yeah.
I spent a whole heap of time in northern Thailand with the Thai Department of Animal Nutrition, a guy called Dr. Krylas, who bred this grass. And what's important to note is that it's certified sterile, so it can't be a weed, and it's non-GMO, which is very important. So we've been doing this quite a few years, and there's no point in us leaving Malaysia because you can't grow this grass in the UK. So it's pretty much the grass that keeps us here, right? Well, and the food, of course. This isn't our first rodeo.
20, 30 years ago, Thailand was kind of in the same position as Malaysia is now.
Okay.
And realizing that they wanted food security, but food sovereignty. And so they needed to develop this, and that was one of the reasons behind developing this grass. So it's transformed the Thai beef industry, and as Simon says, up to 20,000 hectares now is growing in Thailand just for animal food.
You'll remember, another way to look at it is, you'll remember way back, Thailand used to be the biggest exporter of rice.
Yes.
And then they shut the door.
Yes.
That's when they recognized about food security and food sovereignty, right? So it's all for them. Feed the people first. And it's been the same with the dairy and beef industry as well, right? Pretty much all the agricultural industries. They don't export much anymore. So now Vietnam is the world's biggest exporter of rice. Remember COVID, when we were all locked inside?
Yep.
Actually, at one point we ran out of onions, right? And whilst onion isn't classed as a staple food, right, we all eat onions every day because the supply chain from India got shut down, which is where we get our onions from, right?
Right.
And then you may recall for those of us that were allowed to go to the supermarket, all of a sudden you see UK and all sorts of other onions much more expensive, right? So, you know, at the moment the ringgit's strong, so that decreases the cost of imports, but the ringgit's not always strong, right? And that's what pushes up, you know, your cost in your pocket, right? So that's why it needs to be grow year round.
The dairy cattle here, probably the output in litres per day of milk,
10, 12.
which is like 25% of what cows in New Zealand,
Holland.
produce. So the highest producing cows in New Zealand are probably 60 litres a day. But you've got to feed them because that milk comes from somewhere. You don't just get it for free. It comes from having a healthy cow with the right nutrition. So farm fresh is probably the best here, and they're getting 18 or 20. And they're trying to go up, and they will be successful. So farm fresh is maybe 1/3 of what the international.
That's a huge gap, yeah.
Where are they getting their feed from?
Farm fresh are growing some of it themselves, and they're
Imported. And the milk price is expensive for any manufacturers here to sustain and produce milk. Yeah.
Now, one of the challenges Malaysia has is it doesn't have any trained farmers. So, you know, I've got a degree in tropical agriculture from Royal Ag College at Bath University, and I've been working on farms since I was 5, right? So that's 50 years. But people in Malaysia don't want to study agriculture, right? It's same as when I was doing it in the UK, when I went to college in like 1990, no one wanted to be a farmer. I didn't even have to do, I did A levels, but I didn't because I just got five straight offers, you know, unconditional offers, because no one wanted to do it, right? Of course, I think it's the best job in the world. Of course I do.